Yo, yo, yo.
Yo,
Shit, I hope you come with your technical difficulties again, Why you had me harassed last week.
we are back. Well, I'm back, back in full effect.
You're back from your vacation partner.
Long vacation, long needed vacation. I still need another one, but still, football is back. We are back. Simon is back. 49ers is back.
You could
Keep
bet
it
that.
on is back, but he gone again. He got technical difficulties again. Oh Jesus.
We got the call Paul for here. I don't know. We need to call Paul. Paul might need to come mix you. Nope. Anyway, welcome back to the show. KG, you're back. So we can start off with you, like a young you do last week with your training camp. I know you just eating it up and soaking up all the training camp news coming out of the Philly.
Yeah,
So what going on in
big
football?
time, big time. I mean, everybody's back at camp. Everybody's happy. I mean, you had a couple. I think what his name is Pascal had a little stomach sickness. He's back. Um, everybody's a full go. I think the first week it was. Is he back? Nah.
No.
The first week it was. I think it was what, seven and
Yo,
sevens.
yo, yo.
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you.
Hey,
All right. So we
Yeah.
back.
So the first week was a little practice section, seven and sevens. Um, Jalen had Jalen Hurts had some good sessions. Sure, he had a few, throw a couple touchdowns. Think he probably had maybe one or two bad sessions, but I mean, right now everybody in run at you like you won't be fully run at full speed with pads on. You can get nobody pressuring you really. You might get a little something on 11 and 11s, but you ain't really seen much. You know what I mean? You can't really see much. You only time you might be able to see something is when they do that joint practices. When they do against when he goes against the Cleveland Browns defense and see our offense against the defense and our defense against the offense, then yeah, we'll be able to see something then after maybe something during preseason and until regular season start. But so far he's getting a connection with his best friend AJ Brown. He had some good deep ball throws today. So they say he's getting better at his deep ball throwing and accuracy. So they say his release is a lot quicker. His footwork is a lot better than last year. So and again, this is with no pass rush. So everybody looks good when there's no pass rush.
y'all
But
put out pads though, right? Y'all in pads, right?
they even pads it. Pads now and again, you know what I mean? But again, even though still like there's you can't hit the quarterback. So again, there's no full pass rush, you know what I mean? But um again, AJ Brown is looking good. Devontae Smith is looking good. Offense is looking good. Um, I think Jalen Rager is now the number five, the fifth wide receiver on the depth chart now. Remember, after being drafted first overall and being the number one receiver on the depth chart a few years back, now he's the fifth receiver on the depth chart. So, but they were able to fix that, so that's good. Zach Pascal is the slot receiver, of course. Um, Devontae Smith will be a number two, and it's gonna be nice to see this Devontae Smith going against number two corners because he's gonna eat. He's gonna eat against number two corners because most likely AJ Brown can get that number one corner. So the offense should be good, more than good. I'm expecting this team to either give me a I'm expecting a divisional round victory in the playoffs and possibly a NFC championship sighting.
Yeah, we ain't going that far. You
We
just
going
talk
that
about
far. We going
you,
that far. Training camp
you
just
talk
start,
about
right? We going that
you
far.
talk about what training camp
I
doing
telling you what we
in
doing.
here. You ain't
I'm
talk about
telling
your
you.
defense. You go talk about your
I ain't gonna
defense.
make my
Don't tell me
defense
nothing about no
or
NFC
offense.
championship. Talk about this defense now. I don't want to
Hot
hear nothing
take.
about no.
Hot take. You don't want a hot take.
You
You don't
got
want a hot
You
take.
got a little too far now, right now.
too far there.
You go
You don't
talk
want
about
a
your
hot take.
defense. You talk about your defense. You talk about because I hear you tell me one day this horse looking elite, and then you come here the next day. I tell me this horse looking like garbage
He was looking elite today. He was looking elite today.
again. So if you do the show tomorrow, you're gonna hear some dumpster fire thing with
Well,
horse.
if he doesn't look good, he doesn't look good. I'm expecting consistency.
No, no.
So consistency is key. But onto the defense. Great additions in the off seasons again with Hassan Reddick, Bradbury, Jaquaski Tat, pretty much.
How's your
Jordan
cost?
Davis.
How's your
Huh?
cost start filling out for you?
He not on the field, man. He not on the field. Right now, Michael Epps and Kevin Wallace
That means he walking with the
is
twos
the
and
two
trees
safety.
then.
Yeah, he was with twos and
Yeah,
threes.
twos and
Yeah.
trees. Mm-hmm.
But like I said, John Davis, Nakobe Dean was another addition out of the draft. They said Jordan Davis is looking like a mammoth of a man. Cause when he line up over offensive lineman, you can't see the offensive lineman. That's how big he is. 6'6", 340. That's a big guy. So I'm expecting a dominant performance from Devante. I'm not here Devante now, Jordan Davis this year. And they say he's come along exceptionally well too. So Nakobe Dean is still trying to learn the defense. For
How he
some
doing? That's that. I want to see how
for
he
some
perform.
reason, for some reason, and it kind of itching my nerve a little bit because now they're telling me that what his name is Edwards and Kazia White. I understand Kazia White, but the one time you're gonna put Edwards over Nakobe Dean. I understand he has a grasp of the offense, but forget about that shit. Put a dude in there, let the dude get the reps.
Yeah, but I think some people like to just don't just hand it to him. Make him at least feel he gotta work for it and get him there. That don't mean it's still all in the camp. That
I know it's
still
still all
mean
in the
he can
camp,
still think, but
but
he just don't shove him out there.
let him
The
get some
first
first team reps.
practice, I'm sure he getting a few first team reps, but he just ain't getting it consistently how you want to see it. I'm sure they give it to him because the same thing happened with our number 7 pick. He don't
Because
walk with the ones, he walk with the twos.
I understand that, but I mean, he has a exceptional IQ. Understands the game, loves the game. I mean,
Still gotta work for it.
come on.
That mean he
Still
gotta prove himself in the pre.
exactly. They
In
ain't gonna
pre
just hand it. They ain't gonna just hand it off to you. Think everybody just think is he still gotta work for it. That don't mean he gonna be the starter, but he's still gonna work for it. But at the end of the day, he might end up being a starter. But
I guess
leave
he's the
him just
best.
transition.
He's the best linebacker there.
I like Kazia White.
He's the best line. Nick Kobe Dean will be the best linebacker there. Then Kazia White.
You hear what I say? He gonna be.
He gonna be
hey,
here.
Yeah, he gonna be. Nobody
Yeah.
doubting that. But right now,
No,
he
before the
he ain't
season
right now.
start, he'll be the best linebacker there. Before the season start, partner.
So leave him get he reps in. Then he been transition
Yeah,
over.
that too. But let the team get some more. But
Remember the reps gonna come. He gonna get valuable reps when preseason open up.
Slade doing what you call it? Slade doing his thing on defense, of course. You got about him. Bradbury doing his thing on defense. You got about them. Same way Avante Maddox. Avante picked off Jalen Hurts a couple times.
Hmm.
What you call it? Safeties.
Who you
Doing what?
trying the ball to?
Huh?
Who you trying the ball to?
Jalen Rager.
Oh, God.
But it did say Jalen Rager had a big catching cap. So I mean, but like I said before, you can't really tell anything now until the game is played. Everybody's gonna show good in camp. I mean, they're tackling, but they aren't tackling aggressively. So I mean, you won't really see anything until it's like the joint practices where the defense is going against the opposing team's offense and the offense is going against opposing team's defense. That's where you're gonna see whether the team is actually coming along, whether did Jalen Hurts really improve this year? Did the defense grasp everything together? Did they improve this year? Did the, even like us, did the offense improve this year? So, and then after that, you wait till preseason games and then until the season starts. But for right now, it's just players playing in shots and long pants and just run around and just train the ball, and that's about it. Pretty much like flag football. That's what it is.
Well,
Any any
I would,
notable injuries?
Not notable injuries. No injuries.
I would love to
Nobody
believe
get
that. I would
camp.
love to believe that it just flag football, but I don't. How you try to bat the defensive end there in flag football? Huh? That ain't flag football.
Carolina, we can get to you in a minute, Carolina. Take it
That's
easy.
that's like a personal problem to me, partner.
Take it easy, Carolina. We can get
Well,
to you in a
we
minute.
know Philly, the chips on Philly's shoulder. As all the stuff they do, it on two shoulders.
It's,
Jalen Hurts and on the head coach.
and a head coach, also that defensive coordinator too, you know. The defensive coordinator too. You got talent on defense now. It's no excuse. You can't come out there with the same type of defense you had last year, you know.
Well, that's true too.
You
So
got you got mammoths on the defensive line. You got speedy rushes on the defensive line. You got solid linebackers now. You got two
well,
solid cornerbacks.
it's the coach's job to put the players in the best position to
Exactly.
win, and it's the
Succeed.
player's job to execute.
Exactly. So
So we'll
we
see
shall
what
see.
happen. But we know
The team is well built.
Philly has some big shoes to fill this year. The pressure is on Philly and Jalen Hurts. We know that.
Sure.
Compared to the division, we think the Cowboys still got something in them, maybe not as good as last year. We don't know what to think about the Giants until Daniel Jones is in there. And Washington always good on paper, just they don't play like the people. So you got to see what they're about. But he's in a good. Philly, we got to see. We know the key things with Philly is the quarterback, the linebackers. Those are stuff to watch during camp. I know who's how's your running backs right outside. I
Of
don't even
course,
know who your running back after
Sanders is
Miles
the number
Sanders.
one. You got Kenneth Gainwell as the number two, and Boston Scott as the number three. So
And then
then
who's your number two tight end?
number two tight end is Jack Stoll.
Who?
Jack Stoll. You gonna know who he is. You gonna know who he is. He nobody. He nobody, partner. He nobody. Jack Stoll, he nobody. He's a backup tight end.
The bad boy say who?
Right,
I never hear me on
right,
talking.
Jack
And
Stoll.
how the line looking? Offensive line.
Offensive line still solid. You have know that Brandon Brooks has retired. It looks like Siamalu is stepping in at the right guard position because they're gonna keep the continuity with Landon Dickerson at the left guard and Gerard Mailata at the left tackle position because he was they were playing together all last year. So you want to keep that continuity. Try to move him over to center. I'll move him to right guard. So that's good. Of course, Liam Johnson is back and Jason Kelsey is back. Um, Joggins, I think his name is Cam Joggins, who they drafted. He's coming along. He's this is gonna be a redshirt year for him because he's not ready to play yet.
Mhm.
And if you do need a center to step in, you could either move say a Malu to center because he played center before. If you're in a bind, you could move Landon Dickerson to center because he played center before, and you could bring in Sua or Pera to step in and play left guard. And if you do need a right guard spot, you could bring in Jack Driscoll to play right guard. I even right tackle too. So they have depth on the offensive line.
Yeah, you see a lot of shuffling in training camp.
Right.
You see person shuffling with the ones, with the twos, shuffle around, move people. So, but when's your first preseason game?
Why? Supposed to be next week.
Next week, everybody. First preseason game next week, Friday.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I don't know
yeah,
if the date. Well, mine's Saturday.
I did.
Mine's a Saturday, so I don't know.
I'm playing Friday 8:30 against Green Bay.
Green Bay. Panthers playing on Saturday. I think against Washington.
Yeah, my first preseason is 7:30 against the Jets, August 12th.
So that's Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, we got a lot to see in terms of Philly, how they pan out. Well, most of the starters don't play week one anyhow. I mean,
Exactly.
the first preseason game, they play probably a series or two week two, and then probably close to a half week three, and that's it. So you're gonna KG will get to see a lot of his second teamers and third teamers
Hmm.
and the rookies in week one, and then we'll hear about KG's analysis and about them on the other show. But we know what the NFC East got: Washington, Dallas, and Philly. I ain't
Are you
conking.
on the Giants?
You really gonna count the Giants with Daniel Jones? I like Dable, the new head
Yeah.
coach,
Yeah.
but I don't think they got that much faith in Daniel Jones. The team is good, but we don't. I don't know. But I know Washington could be counted on if they put things together. We know Dallas. Fluke is just. I don't think
Washington,
they're as strong as thing.
Washington's gonna be a sneaky team.
Right. Because now
Sneaky
you
team.
got Wentz, you got Anton what
Gibson,
Gibson,
McKissick,
you got McKissick, you got what's the thing? What's the word receiver? I can't even remember his name.
McLaren. You got
McLaren, yeah, Scary
Samuel.
Terry, that's
You got
Sarah,
you got
not
Sims.
Curtis Samuel, Sims, all those guys, and
Yeah,
then we
you
know the
got
defense.
Thomas.
We know the defense with those guys up front. So Philly has some stuff to work with, but we'll see how it goes with some more practices um for training camp, and then onwards to we still got another show before training camp.
Right.
So I guess I mean before the first preseason game. So I think
Hmm.
we could hit some more. We'll hit some more on the second week of training camp on the next show. But Philly is good. Philly, they're playing to win. Another team that's playing to win is San Fran. And Sheen, what's the latest from San Fran?
Fights had a little scuffle today on the defense, but well, not on the defense, between defense and offense. But that was kind of brewing. The Fred Warner is basically your instigator through training camp, trying to, mess with the players who he think could do better, try and get out of them skin, get them fiery, and it happened. He's been messing with Brandon Ayuk since day one of the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
Ayuk had come out and say last week that he irritating, and then today, them almost went to fisticuffs. But the
Well,
team
are
said,
you need somebody to push him?
ah,
Are you need somebody to push him?
yeah, and that was Fred doing. And Ayuk has been having a strong training camp. He looking like wide receiver number one. But again, Debo wasn't there. But right now he playing as wide receiver number one, and he been having a strong camp. So Fred, been hitting him, cheap shotting him, pissing him off, grabbing him, holding him. They get pissed off the first time. They had to be separated the first time. And the second time, they square up into box each other off, and the team like break them up, jump on them and break them
So the
up.
fight was with Wana and Ayuk.
Yeah, one and Ayuk.
Okay, okay.
So I mean, they Kyle stopped practice for a little bit, tell him cool this shit out, and then I went back to practice. So I like to see that kind of thing. I just don't want nobody to get hurt, right? We already get a scare with Eric Armstead. He ain't practicing no more for the training camp because he got sprained MCL, so a sprain, and then we lose Maurice Horse with a torn bicep. Day three, I think it was. So he got for the season. Ain't one of my big stars. He's a big body. He's a good player. He's a good fill-in. But again, we got like 8 defensive linemen. This is why we have so much damn defensive linemen because they always get hurt quick. Um, our secondary, Richard Sherman, said he showed the other day looking like one of the strongest secondaries in the NFC right now. Chavez Ward been locked down the whole of training camp. Strong performance from him. Mosley been out there. They've been working in Ambry Thomas, or rookie from last year, who everybody was picking on. He's been picking
Yeah.
up his speed. I know Sheeta, we were talking the other day. I don't know if we were on the show or we were just talking on the chat on Madden on Xbox. about who gonna play the nickel, who our corner's gonna be.
Who gonna
Right
be the
now,
corners for the
we
thing?
got
Yeah.
Aquarius Denard. He locked in to be the slot corner right now.
Oh, Dark, where's the not there?
Yeah. And then the
That's a good.
safeties, the safeties right now are gonna be Jimmy Ward and Hufunga. And that's been the solid secondary rotation. Look, defense, linebackers, we already know who the linebackers is. They're gonna be Greenlaw, Warner, and Al Shaze. Them is locked down. So defensive line, um, right now, they're saying Jake Jackson, the rookie, looking good, so he might get into the other edge spot. So it'll be him on one side of the edge and both on the next side, and then you're gonna have Kinline Armstead in the middle. So we're looking solid on defense.
But we all not want to know the big question.
The elephant in the room,
How is Trey Lance doing?
ups and downs, ups and downs. But as expected, right? He playing against the finals defense, right? It's like the same year Jimmy Chua, 14 picks in preseason, and then he come out into the Super Bowl. So he have the ups and downs. He getting picked off. Travis Ward picking him off. Um, Ward picking him off. But that's all growing pains, right? You have to get picked off. He got to learn from that. Watch the read. Watch that speed and everything. But I showing y'all some of the clips that he making the throws down the field, like the pinpoint accuracy where he putting them throws down the field. Receivers running under the ball, running full stride, catching the ball in stride, and the corner behind. Ain't no more of this. I don't like to rag on him because I love Jimmy, but ain't no more turning back for the ball when you down the field got a receiver beat. That ball ain't gonna hang
That's
no
why
more.
I love strong arm quarterback.
That ball gonna go over and catch. And right now, Ayuk is getting that chemistry with Trey. Debo had his first practice yesterday. Today was his second, and him and Trey already starting to click already with that. And then I already know he got Kittle working with him on that side. The biggest weakness right now is the offensive line. They're rotating centers, so we still not sold on a center. We sold on a left tackle, left guard, right tackle. We ain't sold on a center. And so that's probably gonna be the weakest link right there until we find out who is the best guy. And I think that can always be a rotating. Well, you really don't want to keep rotating centers because the quarterback have to get
You need that chemistry.
You need that
accustomed to
chemistry.
You need
that
that
handoff,
chemistry,
right?
yeah.
'Cause that center is a quarterback of the offensive line, so he the one that kind of
Yeah.
checks in line
He
shifts.
gotta communicate with the line and be good with the quarterback too at the
Exactly.
same point.
You want to find somebody no quick as soon as possible.
I mean, there's still valuable thing because a lot of persons are still surprised that JC Tretter from Cleveland is a free agent. He
Right.
could come into a contending team and
I
be a
don't think
good
I don't think we gonna sign.
thing.
I don't think we gonna sign nobody. We go to who we got. They just don't want. They can't make up their mind who gonna be the starter. Who gonna be the first team.
Yeah, and we know teams
It's a
teams
battle.
gotta do teams gotta do cuts. Teams gotta do cuts before the season. You can
Yeah.
still see a lot shuffling going around. I don't think for starters, as in starters, but you can see a lot of depth pieces moving around that could help teams too. And those veteran players, some of those veteran players don't like to sign during training camp because they don't want to go through the process of training camp.
True.
Probably want to sign more towards the
Training
preseason
camp
games.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of those veterans don't like to go to training camp because they've been doing that for like 10, 12 years. So a lot of persons don't like the fact that they gotta go to training camp, keep the body in shape and then thing. But we know centers is a valuable
Yeah.
thing. So
So
that's different.
I think it's gonna be Brunskill. Brunskill gonna be the center. Cause he played last year behind Mac. You got another new guy that they try and rotate. They like him a lot, but I think Brunskill can get the first team, and then the other guy can come in to fill in Brunskill on special situations. But Brunskill can play guard too, so you never know. Shanahan full of tricks, pulling guards, pulling tackles, that kind of thing. So I guess we'll have a player for every scheme, the best player for the scheme at that point. But it's looking good. We're looking good. We're looking real good in training camp right now. Defense looking strong as usual. Like I said right now, I can't take no more injuries. I don't want no more injuries. Maurice Horse is one of my. When I see the headline, they didn't even read who the was I get an injury. Just say for another injury out for the season. I almost fall out. Kind of on defense. We can't take a injury because we're not deep. We don't have depth. We don't have good depth. We have players. We don't have good players on the depth chart in certain positions. Like quarterback, if we lose Trey, we done. Unless we keep in Jimmy, and he just started throw today, so he
But
want to
that's the
say
thing. If something happened to Tree, my thing is if something happened to Tree, I'm sure you would want Jimmy there that you could keep moving, but
Yeah,
they want to give Jimmy the right opportunity. So did me you had this conversation last week. If you're gonna move on from Jimmy, you better have a damn good backup in case
Backup
anything happens
option.
to Trey. Because going having Trey that is mobile or could scramble out the pocket, we know they're good, but they get injured too. Cause nothing like trying to scramble and try to make a play, and then one licking you out the door.
right.
So the thing with the 49ers is Trey needs all the reps, all the reps, all the reps, and we agree with that. But they better damn sure have a plan B in case anything happens to Trey. Because we know they want to keep Jimmy there to be the backup. They're gonna give Jimmy the opportunity. They already said they're either gonna trade him or release him by before week one. Fine. But what's the plan B? Who behind Trey? Who behind Trey? And that was
Nobody,
me. You was talking
nobody,
about.
nobody behind Trey. Suckfield.
Just Nate Sudfeld. He's a drunken giraffe. He's a drunken giraffe. So
That's
I
all you. That's what we were talking about. Who, if you gonna trade
Suckfield
Jimmy
in there.
Slug, fine, be
Suckfield, and then
trade
you
him.
got damn Brody rookie. I
We
can't
we
I can't think
we get Donald.
I can't think that we're gonna go into the season with a mobile quarterback and not have a
And
viable.
don't have a thing.
Yeah,
you need to get a veteran backup.
Yeah, I mean, we know, yeah, like I say, they're not gonna hold Jimmy. They're gonna do right by Jimmy. He didn't force his way out. They just said it's time to make the change. They're gonna leave him, get traded, or release him. Fine. The issue is who is playing behind Trey Lance. He's young. He's
nobody.
gonna he's young, and I would say this with a lot of young players. They get reckless. We know that. Trey Lance will try to make a play with his legs. And we all know one little lick, one lash out of the field, that's it. You're injured, you got a broke up shoulder or something. It happens in the NFL. We know it happens. Good teams that can win good need a viable backup quarterback just in case. For instance, the Browns. The Browns is a good team. They don't have Deshaun. We'll talk about that later, but they got Brissett.
You got Jacoby Brissett,
Brissett could come and fill right in.
a seasoned backup quarterback.
Yeah. Only teams that really don't hold a valuable backup is like Aaron Rodgers and them. They don't have a valuable backup, but because they don't think Aaron Rodgers ever get injured. But
They
somebody like Trey Lance, yeah, and we understand that
got his successor.
exactly. But we know quarterbacks that gonna move. You gotta have somebody either with the similar skill set or veteran. So that's why I had like Baltimore. When Lamar was injured, they had I had him on man. What's his name? What's the guy name from Baltimore? What's the backup thing? He looked
Huntley.
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 Yeah,
That's the same exact player like Lamar. So it wasn't really changing your offense. You understand what I mean? You
yeah.
need good backups if you're a team ready to compete and to win. So I don't want nothing to happen to Trey Lance. I want him to do well. Let's just hope that he take. You see, one thing I had like with Bills, the Bills pick up Trubisky. He wasn't good as in Chicago, but spending a year under Josh Allen, he was a viable backup. Now he could possibly be the starter in
Well,
Pittsburgh or Kenny Pickett thing, but just goes to show you that you need good backups around in case. If I want to win, if I know my team ready to go far, I look at all contingency plans in case of thing. Because the worst thing if I was an owner, I don't want to hear that we didn't have a contingency plan for this injury. Because whoever's the owner of San Fran, they ain't gonna want to hear that Trey Lance get injured. Because the rest of the team ready to win.
I
So
can't get in that situation. I don't want that situation at all. You know what I'm saying? I
exactly.
don't want that would be another year lost.
And my only issue with young quarterbacks that can move is we know they're gonna try to scramble and take licks, and they just take one lick. I had Cam, but Trey Lance body ain't like Cam. He's 6'6", 244 pounds.
But
Trey Lance,
Wentz wasn't the same after he came back from that ACL injury.
exactly,
injury. So,
exactly. So you see, and that's a perfect example too.
mhm.
When Wentz went down, who you had there? Foles or a quarterback that knew the system, a veteran quarterback that can just carry the load one time. You didn't have to ask him to do much. You just walk around him, but he was competent to do what he had to do.
Right.
So we gotta have people. You gotta have those backup plans if you know you're going to win. So let's just hope nothing happens to Trey Lance, but let's just also hope that San Fran has. Will it all depends on what they do after Jimmy. I think that's the thing. They ain't gonna go there and sign nobody or trade for nobody now until Jimmy thinks
But
started.
to me, it's too late to. Okay, if we who gonna trade for Jimmy right now in so deep in training camp?
Only,
You might
only
never
what
know
happens
because
if there's an injury somewhere.
injury, exactly.
Right.
That's why I
Injury.
think that's why they hope cause they could have easily said we'll trade or release him by the first week or train of preseason. But they said we're gonna trade or release him by the first week of the season, meaning to say they want to go through preseason to see if anything happens before they trade him.
Remember when with the Minnesota Vikings, Bridgewater went down?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Later, I think it was later in training camp, and after that they traded for Sam Bradford from the Eagles.
Exactly.
So
So we'll have
and
to
then,
see. We'll have to see how it goes. And I'm sure, like I say, if something does happen to Trey Lance, which we hope doesn't, if something does happen to him in preseason, they still got Jimmy. They'll say, hey, we still got Jimmy. Jimmy, this is your team, this and that. Start it out. Because I think the only two possible situations that Jimmy would have gone and start was Seattle because he would have battled Drew Lock as a Dan Wheeler battle.
Right.
And then probably Cleveland that would have said he probably upgrade over Brissett. But now
But then,
that
but
the
then right now
Deshaun
he'll
Watson
only be
thing
out
settled,
for right. He'll only be out for 6 weeks.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's only 6 weeks, so he would be falling back into the same trap. Because after the 6 weeks, what are you gonna tell Jimmy? My thing is, suppose Jimmy Foy, if Jimmy 5-1, they're gonna still put in Deshaun. They pay Deshaun 230 million guaranteed. He ain't gonna stay on no bench.
hmm
So Garoppolo, either way, you're gonna have to do something. I had see a crazy trade idea that I had see Tampa would draft him.
Hmm.
This would be Brady last year, and then Jimmy would take over from Brady next year. And I was like, this ain't Bill Belichick and them fellas, you know. But I don't know. We'll see what happens as KG say. Um, as KG say, you gotta see how what you call it, how the injuries play out during the preseason. Injuries are part of the game.
the injuries and stuff.
So if an injury does happen to a quarterback, especially, I'm sure we'll see some movement. We've seen tons of movement this year for the quarterbacks, but we, as Shane say, he got to go through the process of he ups and downs. This is first full season as starting quarterback,
Yeah.
and we know we when you think about San Fran, they ain't, everything gonna be about oh Jimmy would have make this throw or Jimmy would have do this, so he has to the same thing like KG. Philly got to deal with oh you do all of this, Jalen Hurts, we do this for you.
hmm
He gonna go straight back to San Fran. Jimmy probably would have won this game if Jalen Hurts loses. Jimmy wouldn't have throw that pick, this and that.
But
So he gonna have to deal with that.
why. This is why because now all of a sudden all analysts is like all the analysts are like, oh, why would you get rid of Jimmy? He's a winning quarterback. He's this and that, this and that. Last year they could have been like, oh, Jimmy can't make this throw. Oh, Jimmy injured again. Oh, another pick by Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy's gonna throw a pick. Wait on it. I'm like, really?
Exactly. So it's like I was telling you earlier on a few of the shows back then. It's a lose-lose situation for him in terms of he does good, fine, but if you don't carry them to a certain probably NFC championship, they're gonna say that Garoppolo would have do. If he
True.
do bad, they're gonna say this would have never happened if Jimmy was the starter.
Yeah,
See, you
exactly.
understand what I mean? It's like a
Yeah.
lose-lose situation for him. The only thing he can do that they gonna say justify it is he has to carry the 49ers back to where Jimmy carried him. And that was no less than the NFC championship game. And we were watching it, KG. Jimmy wasn't the cause of the loss. It was a drop pick
The drop
that
pick.
kind of changed the thing.
The
Because
drop pick.
Jimmy wouldn't have to be in the situation to have to score with like less than 2 minutes left and thing. They would have been sole control of that game if the guy had picked the ball and then Jimmy and them just managed the clock. So we gotta look at quarterbacks. You got a quarterback in Hortz, who basically as me you say KZ, this is his proof deal. He got no excuses. And then you got Trey Lance, who will see, even if you try to give him an excuse, he ain't gonna work out too good with no excuses for Trey Lance, because we know how the NFL is. So we have to see.
If Jimmy had made it to the Super Bowl this year and last, would he have been the starter coming into camp?
That's a
If he,
question
was,
for seeing.
if he didn't have to take a shoulder injury, if he had went to the Super Bowl and lose,
Yeah.
nah, he wouldn't have been the starter. Jimmy was gone. It's too much money.
What about if he had won?
He'd have still been gone.
So the plan was always that Trey Lance would have take
But,
over after that season, after the season.
Right now, we sitting
but
at
even
20.
if okay, he go Super Bowl win. Why not bring him back to see if he can go again? Trey Lance can sit down for another year.
I agree, and I was standing there. I ready
Right.
for for 3 years.
My thing is that he got 1 year left on the contract. Is the
Yeah,
25 million? He
yeah.
think he got a $25 million cap hit. Right. We know that. But is that damaging
Not right
San
now.
Fran's
Nah, because
budget this year?
we've signed everybody who we needed to sign. Bosa gonna get his extension next year, so that could free up. When that money go from Jimmy, that's gonna be Bosa money
Again, and that's why I'm trying to understand, because after he leave, that's it.
Right,
The 25 million off the books.
right.
So, and both of us know, all of us know how the market is for quarterbacks in the NFL right now. You got 40 million a year on them things. So 25 million a year for your starting quarterback that's a bargain
Mhm.
compared to what these quarterbacks out here getting. So I wouldn't be vexed if I had a $25 million quarterback on my hands, whereas I had to go and pay somebody 35 million or 40 million.
That's why I think if we keep him and he's Trey Lance backup, I think of course you're gonna have people kick up. Oh, you got Jimmy sitting on the bench, blah 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 blah. But I think that's gonna be security blanket for us. Like I said again, we already signed everybody we need to sign. So
And I
why not
agree with that.
Jimmy back there for that insurance policy? That if Trey get hurt, you got Jimmy. He don't know the offense. You know he's a good quarterback. All he do is win, and you got Trey still there, good to go.
I think my own, and that's why I would have, if I was in Shanahan and Lynn's shoes, that's what I was doing. He would be the backup, or I would just make it like a quarterback competition and eventually give the thing. But having Jimmy as the backup, every little negative thing that Trey Lance do, you can hear the Jimmy talks. You can hear the
Right.
Jimmy talk. And I know Shanahan don't want that it from Trey Lance. He wants Trey Lance to concentrate and just focus on it's your team. So we have to move. So my thing is, if I have to move Jimmy, I have to get a valuable backup that I know can come in and keep the team moving without any damage to the team. Fine, it's not going to be Jimmy. I was finding a valuable backup. I was finding there.
I ain't got no faith in Sudfeld. Not a drop.
Exactly. KG, who's KG backup?
Gardner Minshew.
See? And that's a good thing. I mean, so it works in different ways. And like I say, hopefully nothing happens to Trey Lance. He stays clean. But we know how NFL is.
Yep.
And we know how young players tend to be a little bit more reckless than older seasoned veterans. So we just have to see how. Well, this is week 2 of training camp now. Week 2 of training camp, then week 3 next week, and then you got your first preseason game. So I'm sure Jimmy will get not Jimmy. I'm sure Trey Lance will get some valuable reps in the training camp. I mean, in the preseason games, just to get the more reps he could get.
What week in training camp did you really see the starters? 3, the last one.
They just dog the depth chart before the first game of the season, before the first preseason. But that ain't necessarily mean they just play them.
I think,
They
I think
just
week two.
they just got to do the unofficial depth chart.
Yeah.
I think week 3 is just gonna be the second and third stringers to see who's gonna make the team. I think
week
week-
2, yeah,
I
it's-
think-
it's-
I
it
think-
doesn't-
What did
start
they do?
with
Yeah,
the
no, he
week-
talking about the depth chart. He talking about
Yeah,
it. Just
the
show.
chart,
They just
okay.
show your unofficial depth chart. I think that week leading up to the first preseason game. But that don't mean I don't think week 1 they don't really play anybody. And now that you don't have that fourth preseason game was a
Game
wash because
was a
that
wash.
had nothing to do. Yeah,
Exactly.
I think no. I know season game last year, the Panthers had played a lot of portions up to the first half.
Yeah, we did too.
And then the third game, they kind of just leave the backups play.
Yeah. Back up
So-
in the third and fourth stringers or whatever play.
Right. But I think we know that only 3 games, I think last year too, Donald had actually played a series in the first game. He played one series and then he had come out. So teams may play a series to get your feet wet and then pull you. Second game, you play more, and then third game, you leave your backups in unless you need to see more from certain players. Because you don't want to get injured in the third and final preseason game, then you got 2 weeks break and everything. So, in terms of how it is, we just got to see how it happens. But I'm sure depth charts, we'll see more glimpse of depth charts next week before the games. And we could talk about that some more in terms of was it expected or wasn't it not expected? Which most of us will know it's expected because I haven't seen much difference in how I see things in Carolina so far. I'm sure you guys see the same, except KG. KG say that he'd like to see Nicole Dean more on the thing, but I'm sure Shane and the 49ers, what he's seen is what he expect.
Yeah. Right. Well, I
So
see what I expect. I kind of bummed that Alex Mack retired, but
mm,
it was expected. So that's the only thing I bummed about. And I'm glad to see that we addressed the secondary and free agency, and we know we can see now that somebody got to put some respect on our secondary now. You know what I'm saying? They got to fair that secondary now. With Travis Ward out there and Mosley and then our safeties out there, we are out, So we can see how that work out. Hopefully everybody stay healthy and we can see what we can do.
mhm.
All right, so
So,
Well,
and
yeah,
I'm Mr. Progressive.
you could bet that. So again, the target is just being, the focus of the quarterbacks. They've been splitting it evenly, and like I said, I just showed that video because that was fun to me in terms of like when you see stuff like that, you just kind of you gotta laugh. 'Cause he would do it, but then when you see this now, he bombed the ball 50 yards down the field, and big play Rabbit catch it for 50-yard gain. Then you get hyped too. So as Shane said, you take the good with the bad. You're gonna get little stuff like that. But they've been splitting the reps evenly. Like today, they'll keep Donald with the ones, Baker with the twos, and they'll split it the next day. Baker goes with the ones, and Donald goes with the twos. So they get an equal opportunity. They said that Baker's more pushing the ball down the field, opening up the offense.
Right.
Donald more kind of checking down, playing it safe. And I think that they're just hoping that Baker gets very, very comfortable knowing the plays and get within the offense with the wide receivers, the timing to give him the starting job. Right? I think that you don't bring in Baker in training camp to tell you you're going to be a backup. I think that gonna happen. I think they're gonna do it, but they're just making it look like it's a competition. Help each other. So that's the thing. Even Matt Corral hasn't been playing with the ones and twos, but he's doing a lot of really good things and with the trees. They say he's actually, remember we were talking about he came from an RPO system in Ole Miss.
Right.
They're working on him in terms of his progression. They say that he's moving along very fast. He has a very fast
Release.
release. He's very accurate and he's more settled in terms of team drills. Like as KG said, it's different when somebody pads on coming at you, but he's more poised and he's making right decisions. So I'm happy with that. Hopefully, he would be something to look forward to. I'm going to see him in the preseason, but the focus is being on Sam and Baker. That's been looking pretty good. You got your ups and downs. You got days that they average. I expect that from Baker because he's still learning everything and trying to get time in. But Sam, he has his good times and his bad times. Running backs, we all know what McCaffrey is doing. He's healthy. He said this is the best he ever felt. Hopefully, it stays like that. Wide receivers, DJ Moore shining as usual. Robin made that big catch today. Terrence Marshall is shining. Rashad Higgins is shining, but that's Baker's favorite target back in Cleveland. So every time I see something Baker connects with Rashad Higgins, it doesn't surprise me. He did it in Cleveland. So that is good. Tight ends, everyone seems to be very, very impressed with Tommy Tremble out of Notre Dame. He's progressing better this year over his rookie season. They're going to use him more in the passing, and I like that because I like Tommy Tremble. Offensive line, the line is set on the right side, which is Bozeman at center, Austin Corbett on right guard, and Taylor Moton on the right tackle. That's very good. The first team snaps though they have Brady Christensen as left tackle and Michael Jordan as left guard. I hope that's Michael Jordan, the basketball player, because the other Michael Jordan I don't want. But I think they're just doing that now, and Matt Rule keeps saying that Icky has to own his way to the starting lineup. But you don't draft a man number 6 in the NFL and tell him he got to earn his way. Obviously, he get draft number 6 for a reason.
To start
He was the first
the linchpin.
offensive lineman drafted and the first offensive player drafted, and most people predicted he's the top offensive lineman in the draft. You ain't put him there to come on no bench. They just giving him the reps so he could keep progressing along, and eventually he's either going to be the starting left guard or the starting left tackle. He plays a lot of second team snaps on left tackle, but they haven't moved him in the first team as much yet, only seldomly. But I believe when the season starts, it's going to be Brady Christensen either at left tackle or left guard, and then Ike will be the opposite one.
Right.
So if Christensen's left guard, Ike is left tackle. Us. But the right side is Peck. Bozeman, Carbit, Taylor Moton. That's a big upgrade compared to last year. So whoever quarterback we do have, that should look better. Ease their pressure going in. So the offense has been doing good. Some good throws. Some good. You got a case of the dropses sometimes, but things are looking good. And the
Yeah,
defense,
that's great.
we had pads yesterday and today, yeah. So yesterday was a padded practice, and they've been hitting some good strides. The defense been making a lot of plays, especially in the pads. Then the interception that I showed you guys, that wasn't with pads, but Baker gets so frightened he just threw the ball like he crazy. But we did have pad practice yesterday, I think today too, and I think that's what I like to see, that we in pads. And I'm excited for next week Saturday for the first preseason game, but we still think we got a few more padded practices.
Right.
But on the defensive side, you got Brian Bonds is doing good. Derek Brown is doing good. Matt Ioannidis, his running mate, Derek Brown running mate, he's doing good. The big question was who's going to replace Hassan Reddick on the other side. They got Yito Gross Matos and Marquise Haynes doing it right now, and then we drafted Amara Bano. So you're going to do it by rotation, but Matt Rule said that they're going to add some more bodies to the front. Linebacker Shaq Thompson is on the PUP list, but he should be back for week 1. But we got Damian Wilson and Frankie Louvu making some nice. Louvu had a really nice pick today, and Damian Wilson has been man in the middle. So I'm happy with that. And my secondary, I'm excited for my secondary. JC Hahn, CJ Henderson, Dante Jackson, Jeremy Chin. You wasn't here, KG. I showed in a video of Jeremy Chin jumping in front of a road and picking that ball. Oh, that had
That's who I had
so
wanted
sweet.
instead of Jalen Hurts. But
They throw the out road knock on nowhere. Out of nowhere, Jeremy Chin just come in front of the wide receiver and pick that ball and toe tap in. I'm excited about him. He got Xavier Woods with him. No, to
that's a good safety tandem.
so, exactly. Plus, you got JC Hahn, CJ Henderson, and Dante Jackson. So the secondary should be very, very good. The only issue is JC Hahn has been having some soreness in his foot from the surgically repaired foot.
Is he playing in the slot? Or is he the
Well,
number 2 corner?
JC Hahn, and the good thing is with JC Hahn and Dante Jackson, they match up based on size.
Right.
So what they want to do is that CJ Henderson catches up and proves that he's worthy of a number 9 pick, so that JC Hahn could play in the slot more on nickel downs.
True.
Because he's more tougher. He can jam people in the slot easier and keep Dante and CJ Henderson out. So see, CJ Henderson isn't good in the slot. He gets beat a lot, but he's good on the outbounds. So, but they always like to mix and match too. So like CJ Henderson, not CJ, JC Hahn will go with the most physical wide receivers, and Dante Jackson goes with the shorter, twitchier receivers. But JC Hahn did say he wants to go into the slot more on tall downs and jam that slot receiver. And you'll have CJ Henderson and thing. And then we got good depth. We got Keith Taylor. So that's a good piece that played a lot last year. So I'm excited. The team is looking good. We haven't had any injuries. I haven't heard anything bad on injury front. So right now, hopefully it keeps like that. But we know the target going forward for the rest of August will be who wins the starting quarterback job. If it's Baker, well, he gets to prove his word one time because the first game is against the Browns. We know it's not going to be against Deshaun Watson, but the whole defense going to still be there. So he got to prove himself if it's him or if it's Sam Donald. So I'm ready for that. Again, we know this is Matt Rule's. I don't want to say last year, but if it doesn't go as planned, it will be his last year. So
He's on a hot seat.
yeah, he is on a hot seat. It has to work this year. But I'm impressed. I'm impressed. The coordinator. I love Steve Wilkes as our defensive. He's not a defensive coordinator, but he's one of the defensive. He's like an associated head coach, and he runs the secondary. So him and Phil Snow will do wonders. They say Ben McAdoo's is working well with those guys. So let's just hope it's just McAdoo and not McAdoodoo, and we'll see what happens there. But I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I like what I'm seeing. I keep track of it all the time. I listen to Matt Rule and those guys. I think we're gonna add a few more bodies up front. I think Scott Federer said he would like to add another pass rushing specialist. I think they'll probably wait until the cut start to happen to find a good one. Cause we were in the running for Dunlap, but then he signed with Kansas
I like
City.
him. Yeah.
So I think we want one more pass rushing specialist just to take the pressure off of Brian Burns, just to come in and throw downs because without Hassan Redditt, someone has to step up. Because then everybody's just gonna jam Brian Bones. Ioannidis is good up in the middle. Derek Brown is good up the middle, but Marquis Haynes on a rotational piece, Marquis Haynes had 7 sacks last 7 sacks. That's good on a pass rushing specialist. So maybe we can he can get more playing time with you doing Yito Ghost Masos on first and second and putting Marquis Haynes thing. But you still need somebody if Brian Bones goes down or needs a break. Keep rotating. So I think we man or two shot on a rotation. 'Cause I don't think Amari Bano is ready yet, but he can probably come in and pass in those too.
That's a sick man.
Yeah, I like him. I mean, his speed, he got speed. He's a speed rusher. But if you got some of those talented tackles that know you just coming with speed, they're gonna counter you fast.
Push him to the ground, yeah. But he's strong too. He got some good strong thing.
Well, they say he has to. He's about 6'5", 6'6", 230 or 240. They want him to build more strength in his frame. If he does, then he can learn from Brian Burns. Brian Burns about 266. He bulked up to about 256.
Mm-hmm.
So he's if he could
Definitely.
get to like right, if he could get to like a Brian Burns, then two of them guys off the edge. I would love that. So we'll see how it goes. Give him some time. I'm not pressing to see Bano immediately, but I'd love to see him get in on the dunks. But I'm happy so far with what I'm seeing from the Panthers. I mean, we're in the division with Tom Brady, which you gotta come good. We're in a division with the Saints that I mean there's big changes happening in the Saints, but it's the same team, same coaching staff.
I
So
ain't
we
got no
gotta
faith. I ain't got no faith in James.
uh I don't know.
Mister lead the league in interceptions.
The team though, we see what happens with the team. I don't expect him to take over a game either, but he just has to play within his
Be a game manager. That's it.
yeah, play within it and see what happens. So but that's good for me until next week with the Panthers. I'll continue to monitor how um Baker and Sam is doing this week. And then I'm sure we're gonna get that depth chart either the end of this week or all the next week before the game. And then we can see because I know those games start. I think the game start Thursday. I think there's a game Thursday too.
It's a game
Yeah,
on
I think it's
Thursday.
Thursday
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah.
and
When does the
Thursday,
Hall of
Friday,
Fame game
Saturday.
start?
That's
Game
this week.
This week.
This week, yeah.
Friday,
One the fourth. When's the fourth?
Thursday. Cut tomorrow
Yeah.
Thursday.
Right. So
Thursday.
yeah, so
Thursday, Hall of
Thursday
Fame.
have the Hall of Fame game, and then football's officially back. And then next week we'll go through a full slate of preseason games. But
Thursday, 8 o'clock. Eastern time.
The Panthers, that's good for me. I'll keep everyone updated. We'll talk some more on them as we get closer. If they do eventually make a decision
And
on the
who you playing
quarterbacks.
against in the first preseason game?
Well, I think it's Washington.
Washington. Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
Right.
But that's it for our teams. Going around the NFL, I know three of us were talking about what happened to the Dolphins today, that they were stripped of that fourth round pick next year and a 2024 third round pick. The only crazy thing about that is they got a first round pick from the Chiefs, I think.
I know, right? So they're good.
So they still got a first round pick. So they gotta be there saying, take that. We still got one.
Mine them get again, because I'm still assassinating.
Well, that's a trade. That's a traded one. So I don't think they'll strip that one. They'll strip the one that based on their record.
Yeah.
That thing. But we know what was. We used to follow the what you call it, the Brian Flores stuff with the tampering and saying that they wanted the tank and everything. But I think the NFL didn't find the tanking to be true. But Brian Flores part was this. Stephen Ross was fined and suspended until October 17th. Yeah. And then they lost their picks. What you guys think about that?
I
You,
mean,
you don't know how the NFL handle tampering, so I mean, it's just. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing you can say. I think it's just.
you gotta take the first round picks though, man. I mean, take two third round picks or something like that.
I think
Multiple.
they look at it as
That makes it an example, pretty much.
Yeah, but no,
yeah,
but multiple incidents though. You know what I'm saying? You had the Brian
right.
Flores thing with the GM. Then you had what tampering with Tom Brady, tampering some. I forget who else it was. Somebody else they were tampering too. So that's they were just going crazy.
And I'm sure they made some play for Sean Payton too.
Yo, Deshaun Watson, Tom Brady,
Deshaun Watson,
yeah,
and this offseason they made a play for Sean
Sean
Payton.
Payton. Yeah.
So
So
there's a lot of stuff going on that
then the Brian Flores thing, I think it was.
well, yeah, we gotta see. I think Brian Flores made
He made a comment he was
a co-
disappointed in. I think
right,
he
right,
wanted the GM to get fired or something.
yeah. So I mean that's the NFL's conclusion on it. The last Dolphins lost their first round pick, a third round pick next year. Was fined. The owner was fined a couple millions and then suspended.
I think it was two
Is it?
total. I think I had two total picks in 24. I think the two of them.
Mm, could be. I
It
think I just say
said pick 2024 total picks.
no. It just said forfeit their first round pick in 2023 draft and their third round pick in the 2024
Oh,
draft.
all right.
So, and then Stephen Ross was fined 1.5 million. The vice chairman Bruce Beal was fined 500,000, and Stephen Ross was suspended until through October 17, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So, was it fair? People may argue that it's fair. Some people will say that it's not fair, but we know how the NFL works. You're not gonna please everybody. Which brings me to the next thing, which is
Sean
the
Watson,
Deshaun Watson
6 games.
thing that he got suspended 6 games. Again, like you say, some people may say okay, it's justifiable. Some people are gonna say hell no, it's too long. Some people will say hell no, that's way too short.
A lot of people who are commenting on this thing didn't actually fully follow the story. I even read the comments. I even read the story because if they did, they would have a different thought on this situation. Just in my opinion, honestly,
I think
Yeah.
just my
I,
opinion.
I
Everybody just talking because of it's women's rights. I ain't saying, I ain't saying, I ain't saying like going against of if he did it, whatever happens and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But everybody going against this women's rights and stuff like that. Nobody actually looking the depths of the story. Simple as somebody telling you, I went for a massage. I went for a massage Father's Day. Them tell me to get naked, you know. They told me to get naked and they massage me and massage my back and that's it, and my legs or whatever. Tell me turn over and massage my legs and my upper parts of my body, my upper part of my body and stuff like that. So in the story, you saying you come in the room and the man laying down on the bed naked. If you feel uncomfortable, why you leave? Nothing saying that he forced you to do anything, you know. You ain't saying that he forced you to do anything. I just saying is that if you feel uncomfortable, if you walk into a situation anyway, whether it's in a store, a supermarket, whatever, in a house with a group of people to a party, whatever, if you feel uncomfortable, you leave. So if you feel uncomfortable in a situation, why didn't you leave?
And then you got stuff that like the Texans were the ones setting up the appointments.
Exactly.
So
But if you go to a massage parlor, they tell you to get comfortable. They tell you to get naked. You understand? So ain't like you force him, the man force himself to get naked. This this, this is what's not making sense. I understand. If he did it, fuck it. Suspend him, lock him up. You understand? But don't tell me that he forced it on you or he forced anything. I did anything. You understand?
Yeah, it's a
it's, it's a
delicate.
it's a fishy
It,
situation. But if
it's
you
a
look at it and if you read the comments and the stories of what they're talking about, that she went in, she seemed naked, she felt uncomfortable, but you still went ahead and did the massage.
So I think the suspension is just.
It's just.
I think the 6 game suspension is just, and this is my reason why I think it's just. He was acquitted of all counts. All counts. He settled what? 3 out of the 4
Mm-hmm.
that were major, but he was acquitted of all 20 something counts. I mean, he do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
All he do right now is pay these people to shut up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dragging on his name. Me, I think, and I've been saying it all the time. This whole story going on. I think it need to be the wheels need to turn wrong, and he need to go after them for blackmail and defamation of character. That's the thing they should go after. And I agree with him that if I think the NFL reverse the ruling, that they'll go there and try to spend him out here, he should sue the NFL.
He should.
Because you know me already. I'm sick and tired of the NFL suspending these guys, um, remove them from the NFL before they even get a case, before they even get a just cause. Some of them guys that get kicked out for domestic violence, it wasn't even their fault. But the NFL kick you out of a team, you get cut by a team, and they come out that you didn't even start it, or she called it was some ignorance. But you
the
don't do the
damage
job.
already done.
You don't do
Yeah.
the job. You can't come back in the NFL after that. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I think they'd react too quick to cut these guys. They wait on the Deshaun case. They waited on him. He done had a
Because
year.
the reason why they waited, because there was no legit evidence on the
Right.
story.
So now
That's
you
why.
got, okay, fine. You have to suspend him because even though he was in found guilty, is some kind of
It's
dis-
like administrative
right,
leave. Yeah.
disciplinary action that had to take place.
Cause you got
Six
paid
game,
screwing.
4 to 6 game is the minimum that you could get, right? They may give him 4, so they give him 6. Cool. But of course, like kids, you say they're gonna try and come. Some of them groups gonna try and come for your head.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I say. You're not gonna please everybody. Some person will say it's justifiable. Some person's gonna say that that's way too low. And we know we're gonna hear the blunt of it because the NFL got until a certain time
Thursday.
to decide if they're gonna accept it and do
And then
this.
my thing again. The judge that gave the punishment is a female. Eh?
Exactly. People ain't understanding it. I
All
tell
right.
you, people ain't paying attention to, is not paying attention to what's going on. Everybody is just going off of their emotions and what they heard on TV, and that's it. No one's fully trying to pay attention to the story and understand what's happening with the story. It's just going off of hearsay, and then after your emotions, and that's about it. Bram, gone.
We'll see. I don't think they're gonna be overturned. I think they'll give him the 6 games.
6 games.
As much as I don't like Goodell, he don't leave things pressuring him into making decisions. So, and I think if the judge come down and hand out that rule, I don't think there's no reason why the NFLPA or anybody else should have any kind of discrepancy against what a judge ruled in, especially it was a female.
And that's what the groups ain't saying that,
So
The groups ain't saying that. They just what happens is
we'll,
they just go for good
I mean,
ahead.
we'll see. I think by time the Hall of Fame game, we'll know if it's just 6 games or is it
You
gonna
see,
be.
it's so crazy because he'll serve a 6 game suspension without pay, but
Mhm.
he will not be fined for violating the league's personal conduct policy following accusations of sexual
See?
misconduct.
Because there
So
were
he
accusations.
gets suspended. He gets
Right.
Right.
suspended, but he ain't getting fined.
Right.
Exactly.
I
There's
agree
no
with that.
more.
I agree with that.
Exactly.
He got fined because with accusations. He was
Right.
never he was not found guilty of not one count, not one.
And they were talking now. They had this much evidence and this much evidence.
But if the girl still couldn't, the main one, Still didn't testify. Refused to testify.
Refuse to testify.
Mhm.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, what if you so feel like he did something to you and you feel traumatized, you ain't gonna make sure he get locked up.
So the the union made it clear that they will stand by her decision and urge the NFL to do the same.
Yeah.
So
And then
so
after
if I
you
if I
hear,
if an appeal is made, the commissioner Roger Goodell or his designee will issue a written decision that will constitute full, final, and complete disposition of the dispute. So he can change it if he wants, but
Right.
we'll see what happens.
you hear nothing about these girls talk about mental health and seeing therapists and stuff like that. And I I'm so
Bec-
traumatized.
and it's crazy because
It's insane. It's
like you guys say, um, the Judge Robinson said she sought to differentiate between violent and non-violent sexual conduct. Robinson concluded that Watson's conduct does not fall into the category of violent conduct that would require this minimum 6 game suspension, which the league has established as by far the most commonly imposed discipline for
insane.
domestic or gendered violence and sexual acts. The ruling relied on 32 previous suspensions. So they just suspend him like that because
Right.
that's the minimum thing.
Right. You had to get this. He had to get disciplined. We all know that he gonna get suspended. Everybody
Right.
knew that.
But I knew that, yeah.
The question was how long he gonna get suspended for. But everybody knew he wouldn't get suspended. He had to get suspended.
So and she said that Robinson also found that Watson's predatory conduct cast a negative light on the league and its players.
Agreed.
Robinson ruled that Watson is to limit his massage therapy to club directed sessions and club approved massage therapists for the duration of his career. So,
Pure men.
mm,
Pure men. That's all.
Maybe a man ain't be woman. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
thing. And that's the weird thing about it. You know what I mean?
No, if
I've
he
been
go out, no, if he go out after that, he go in private sector and he go out and do the same nonsense again. Then I say last him in jail. Cause he got issue. Cause she put in there, she put that he remanded to the club and stuff like that. So
mhm.
we'll see Thursday.
So he settled 20 of the 24 lawsuits he was facing.
Mm-hmm.
On Monday, he agreed to settle 3 of the remaining 4. So, um, so it's only one person, but that more than likely get settled too. So I mean, it's like you
They,
guys
they,
said,
they, they get what they wanted, so now they're gonna stop. They get what they
yeah,
wanted.
right?
they wanted it was our money. I
All
mean,
they want was money. All them come together. Dog, it was a witch hunt. That thing was a witch hunt from the jump.
Again, and the thing about it too is if the if the team was setting up these massage therapists for him, you'd go after the team too.
Yeah.
But
the
nobody
team,
went after the team.
yeah, the teams
Yeah, no,
were
they tried to go after Houston. Somebody
They
tried
went
to,
after Houston.
yeah.
So again, I see nothing to say that Houston settled anything with anything. I just see Watson settled anything with thing. I mean, most of them was Watson, but we all know that Houston, the Texans set up like the room and all them kind of stuff. They just that's just as accomplice. That's like an accomplice if you
Yeah.
think. So, like I say, you're not gonna. Some persons will agree with it. Some persons will not. That's the life we live in. No one is proven guilty. No one was found guilty. Everything was settled, and as the judge say, is gonna leave a lot of persons probably mentally shaking uh, based on experiences, but everything was settled. If you are fighting for justice, you'll still be going at it. So I guess the payoff was bigger than the justice, in my opinion.
Yep.
So we'll have to see how it is. Again, all of this is our opinions. It's not what we say about the teams. So it's just our opinions on the matter after diving. I know all of us dove into the issues a long time when we were watching it, when they were up for trade and everything. And every time more and more stuff came out, we carefully analyzed it, and again, each of us have our own opinions of it. And again, to some persons, it may not be right, but to some persons, it may not be wrong. But it's just our opinions on how we feel on the matter. So hopefully, Deshaun can everyone can move forward now onto football. But I think for him, it's gonna take a while to move forward because there's always gonna be someone bringing it up in his
Mhm.
face. Because even the fan bases when they were trying to get
I
Deshaun,
expect, I
season ticket.
expect the first time he take the field, you're gonna see a
Yeah,
couple
because
what
it's not
poverty.
only woman rights in Houston.
Yeah,
It's all over.
yeah. So
So
I expect to see some poverty signs, some.
even when he goes to Cleveland, not everybody in the fan base was too pleased with the addition.
Yep,
So he's gonna have his mixed bag of
People still hate Michael Vick.
exactly,
exactly.
You understand?
exactly.
They still hate Michael Vick, but they love Ben Roethlisberger. I know,
Yeah,
right?
I understand it.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how it is, but those were the two major headlines. I'm just seeing that the Cardinals extended their left tackle, DJ Humphries,
Hmm.
3 years, 66 million. So good, good that Kyler has his blindside protector for the next 3 years. The Saints signed Farmer Jets tight end Chris Herndon, so they're gonna walk him in. Um, Outside of that, we just seen few little stuff that everyone just keeps an eye on during the training camp. We still got the Odell Beckham waiting to sign with someone,
He's still a free agent there.
still a free agent.
Still a couple of free agents out there.
Still got a lot of persons that can think. Still got a lot of persons that could help a team win. Could probably even start.
Yep.
I think they said Van Jefferson, the wide receiver for the Rams, he's having knee issues and he had to go see a specialist. So I think they said the Rams are having more of an odds to sign OBG to go with Cooper Cup and Allen Robinson. Because Van Jefferson was crucial in as a number three.
True.
But we'll see what happens. But outside of that, it's just Metcalf got his extension. Kyler Murray got his extension since the last time we talked.
Debo got his extension.
Debo got his extension since the last time we talked. So around this time, you see persons get extensions, and then we monitor the injuries and
The injuries.
little rumors that you have going on. So I'm
Will
sure
Lamar
next week
get an extension?
that's another one there that we're still monitoring. Will he get? Yeah, he's saying that it will play out, and I think he represents himself. He doesn't even have a thing. He
Mhm.
doesn't have an agent. He represents himself. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know. He's looking at all the extensions of quarterbacks. Yeah, I think now with Kyler Murray getting there, he's basing his around that and probably higher. Because he may say that he should be warranted more than Kyler Murray.
He was an MVP.
Exactly.
He was actually a league MVP
Hmm.
and had
So
won the division, took his team to the playoffs, and had the best record in the league at one point. So I mean,
so we're gonna have to see if the Ravens gonna fuck up the money or say that he ain't worth it. We'll we'll see. Again, some of us will look at Lamar say he's limited in what he can do with his arm. And if he contain the legs, he's an average quarterback.
Hmm.
So I don't know. But then me and KG will look at Kyler Murray and say he does great things, and then the Shane is in his division will tell you that Kyler Murray is nothing.
Trash.
So it depends how the team views you, not how we view you. Because we view you and tell you deserve this.
I
But
think
that
we all
ain't the
know.
team.
I think we all know how the team view Kellen Murray, but I ain't gonna go down that path.
Well, that stupid clause that they had, they took it off.
he took it out.
Why? Pressure. Pressure make them take it out. But
Well,
you
they said
wrote
that
that.
they
You
said that
wrote
the
that out.
clause, yeah, the clause was taken out of miscontext,
Whatever. You wrote
and
that.
they
You
think
wrote that. You wrote that contract for your reason. You know where you wrote that, and all you did was take it out to save fees. And the man came out after the contract and said he don't study film. He said it. Court. I don't study film.
that's a stupid thing to say, though.
Yeah, he
Stupid
came
thing.
out and said he don't
That's
study
a
film.
that's a very stupid thing to say.
Yeah.
Who would
As
say
a,
some
as,
stupidness
as
like
a
that?
quarterback, as a leader of the team, that's a stupid thing.
Exactly, that's a stupid thing. If I a player that busting my ass
Right,
trying to win,
exactly.
you think I could
You
want to hear that from my car? You think DeAndre Hopkins them want to hear that stupidness?
that you don't study film,
So they put what they thought in the
which
contract,
means that you trying to get better game after game.
Exactly.
That
and
way you're telling me.
everybody kick up on it. But I guarantee that somewhere on the lane he has still got to hit them 5 hours of film study a week.
More than
But
likely.
you
Even
have
maybe
to know. No, you come out and say that. No, you messed up for African American quarterbacks. You make them
yeah,
messing up for black quarterbacks. That's a stupid comment to make.
And trust me, there's a lot of good black quarterbacks that are gonna be coming out.
Exactly.
So let's see how it
'Cause
happens. Let's see
everybody
what
was
happens.
everybody was already forgetting about Jamarcus Russell. You know
yeah.
what I mean? That was already being forgotten. So why did you decide to make that type of comment? Because you could just talk.
Until I ready what I do, you
Well, we'll
know.
see how it goes.
Let's see how you.
We got another week next week. We'll talk more in depth again about the second week of training camp and look forward to our first preseason games. And we'll get into our depth charts and everything as well. Hopefully, we'll more than likely we'll see a lot more news. Hopefully, it's all good for our teams next week. No injuries, but we look forward. We are happy to be back. That football is here, and we could see and talk about football every day. So next week we're gonna see some more training camp talk, and then
We could talk about the Hall of Fame game too, what we see in the
we can
2 weeks.
talk about the
Like,
Hall of Fame game. We ain't gonna know half the people in the Hall of Fame game.
see if anybody stand up. See if we find a stand up. Couple stand up.
That gonna be hard. Cause then we ain't gotta be looking through pages to find out who this fella is. The only thing I might say is number 56. I look good on the field.
That's about it.
That's about it.
Yep.
Cause I ain't got another name.
Yep.
But we'll talk some more. We'll talk some on that just to have that a football game is back for 2022 season, and then we'll get back into our teams and training camp and what we look forward to for our first preseason game of the season, which we are happy to be back.
Yes, I. So catch up and peace out till Tuesday. Yes, I.
All right, peace.